What is up, y'all? Welcome to another Wednesday night live Q&A. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. Yeah. All right. So how is everybody on this fine Wednesday evening? I can't believe the week's halfway over, actually. So I'm pumped. I'm stoked. Had one little issue. Last night I went to go to bed and I picked up something off the floor right here where I'm sitting, and the floor was soaking wet. And this tank right here, the hang on the back, the spacer that keeps it level, had fell off, so it was kind of tipped back and the water was dripping out of it. Luckily it was a slow drip and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't a great big major catastrophe, but I was like, couldn't figure out where the water had actually came from. It was like only wet in like one spot in the middle of the floor, and it just took me a minute to figure it out, but luckily I figured that out before bed. So anyhow, because that would have been half of a 40-gallon breeder, because I've got my intake going way down deep into the tank, over half. So let's go to the chat and see who all's here. Welcome everybody coming in. Daryl Deemer was first to the chat tonight. Welcome to the live stream, Daryl. Nice to see you. Then we got Charlie in second. Nice to see you, Charlie. Then Real Thing for You Fish Tanks is here. What is up, Real Thing for You? He has a question. Did you see my new discus yet? Well, if it is your emoji picture, I did. But I have not. Did you put it on Instagram? Because I haven't been on Instagram a whole lot except for to post this week. Haven't had a whole lot of downtime. Things are starting to slow down. The end of the month is really crazy for me at work, but Keith Boardley's in the house. What is up, Keith? Nice to see ya. Let's see, who else? Mary RNH2O is here. What is up, Mary? Adrian is here. Let's see, Mr. B's Fish and Things is here. Welcome, Brandon. Nice to see ya. Our Aquatics is here. What is up, fellow fish keepers? What is up, Our? Corey's Aquatics is here. Hello, hello. What is up, Corey? Okay, Jeremy Fryer is here. What is up? Susie Q is here. Tampa Tom is here. I need more intros like the last video, Jeffro. Don't make me use my bristles. Yeah, that last video, the shrimp video, I didn't know how everyone would take it. I know that back whenever that craze was going on, I was like, man, someone should do one of those for aquariums, you know, do it up next to a fish tank. And my kids are so old, they don't even have toy cars anymore. So I had to actually go to Dollar General and buy the toy car. And it took like an hour to shoot that scene. And I really wasn't even happy with the ending. Like, I wanted it to be on one clip, and it ended up being two that I had to melt together, and I really wasn't happy with it, but yeah, I liked it. It was fun. I had that thing shot for a long time, and I didn't know what video I was going to put it in either. Let's see here. Adrian Castillo says, nice polo. Yeah, it was a company that reached out to me, and they did it for like a real cheap price just to see how I liked it, and I really do like it. So now they'll start hounding me. It's actually embroidered, but now they'll start hounding me to buy a bunch of them from them. But I've got my one for those big business meetings with the big aquarium, you know, like Flu Ball and stuff, you know, that I go to all the time. Oh, thanks though, Adrian. I like it. It's comfy. The company actually, whenever I ordered it, they went through the hurricane and their building was actually damaged, and they were down. building was down for a couple of weeks and they had to rebuild and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of crazy. My order came in through there. Okay, so we got 22 people here. I'm at the bottom of the chat. I have not seen any questions yet. Oh, okay. Mary says, did you cut your beard? Yeah, before Saturday's live stream, I went to do a shower, and when I got out of the shower, I was going to manicure my beard, and I needed to trim it a little bit because it was starting to flare out here on the sides, and I got it all blocked off on this side really, really good, and really, really good on this side, and there was a little bit of fluff right here, and I took my scissors and went to cut it, and when I did, I cut into this block piece here. So I tried to fix it, didn't really like the way it was looking, so I put the number 3 on and trimmed it down. But it'll be back in like a month. Petsotics is here. What is up, Petsotics? Jeremy is here. What is up, Sergeant Tank? Nice to see you, buddy. JQ Channel says, hey everybody, this is my first live chat on this channel. Well, welcome to the live stream. We do this now 3 days a week. Mondays at 8, Wednesdays at 7, and Saturdays at 7 Central Standard Time. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram right there, and you'll see when my videos are coming up and different things like that. But I also upload videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So welcome, the JQ channel. Let's see who else is coming in here. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. How do you become a chat monitor, RNH2O? Yeah, that is a moderator, and my channel's kind of small. I mean, the biggest amount I've had in the chat at one time is 50. And right now I think I got like 10 moderators, so it's kind of up to me to make moderators. But that's right. Okay, so anybody got any questions? The Wednesday night live stream is Q&A. That's what we try to keep it at. And I like to only go for an hour because I've got people that go after me every Wednesday night. I got Dan's Fish going live after me. I believe I looked earlier, and Jeremy from Sergeant Tank Pets, I believe, is going live after me tonight with a special guest. So on Wednesday nights, I always try to stick to an hour unless I know that somebody behind me isn't going live this week. But tonight, there's people going live. Candy Overalls is here. What is up, Candy? Our Aquatic says, gonna build a tank rack in the basement of the house I just bought. What size tanks do you think would work best? I was thinking 20 longs for most gallons space allowed. It pretty much kind of depends on what all you're doing. I just recently got two 20 longs, so I really like them. I like the footprint of them, but it depends on what you're doing. You know, I mean, some fish 20 longs do fit a lot of different types of fish and species and plecos and shrimp and all kinds of stuff, so you couldn't go wrong there. I like to get a little bit bigger of a tank for grow outs and stuff like that, so like 40-gallon longs or 40-gallon breeders, stuff like that too. You know, so it depends on if you're going to be breeding and what you're breeding and stuff like that. But the 20 longs are reasonably priced if you can get that $1 per gallon. And earlier in the chat, Keith Boardley said that he found his Petco was doing the $1 per gallon sale right now, and they're doing it all the way like mid-November, I think. And those 20 longs, 20 bucks a piece. I paid 38 bucks a piece for mine. So I always miss that $1 per gallon sale. And I'm not putting any fish in them for a couple of months, so I probably could hit the $1 per gallon sale, but I like to cycle my tanks for quite a while too, especially these two that I'm doing. Candy Overall says it's about time. The JQ channel says, yeah, I like my 20 as well. I have one in my room with 2 koi in it and 3 Cory cats right now. Cool, right on. Sergeant Tank Pet says, what plecos you foresee in the 2019 for your fish room? I'm gonna probably start picking up some high Pansistrus here and there. I don't know yet. I'd like to do this frag tank like kind of like a community tank, but I'd like to stick with like high Pansistrus and just do one-off, so just one of each. But I've got to really kind of do my research and maybe build that tank up slow, because if I got a bunch of males in there, there might be a whole lot of territory issues going on and aggression and stuff. So I don't know, but I'd like to get a hold of some high Pansistrus and try some different setups this year and change it up a little bit and get get into those a little bit. Good question though. Let's see here. Candy says, Charlie, Jeff must think you are pretty. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I was accidentally reading his question wrong. Okay, Honeybee says, Honeybee Axolotus Aquatics. Woo! Added a little bit to your name. I like it. Axolotl. I'll just leave it at that. Honeybee says, yeah, I'm up and awake at 1 a.m. Hello, Jeffro and everyone. Well, hello, Honeybee, and welcome to the live stream. If you have any questions, throw them my way. We're going to be live for about 45 more minutes. Jeremy Fryer asked how we're all doing tonight. I'm doing great. Got this week halfway kicked. Tomorrow's going to be kind of easy. Got meetings tomorrow and a lunch. We're going to do an appreciation lunch, so kind of looking forward to tomorrow. Tampa Tom says 20 longs are great for planted tanks. I am liking mine so far. There's so much room for activities. That's what I like about mine so far. Hello, Jad. Jad Orsi is here. What is up, Jad? Petzotic says Petco started their $1 per gallon this month and usually runs for a while. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's where I got these two, and it was just what, 3 weeks ago, somewhere around in there. Jeesh, I missed it. But I might go tomorrow afternoon and pick up a few more, because 20 bucks a piece for the 20 longs. Keith said his was already out of 20 longs, but they get them back in Friday. But I'll be there tomorrow and not Friday. The JQ channel says, not to be needy, but can I have a shout out? New channel inspired like fish keepers like you, Jeffroz FishKeeping. Well, what I usually do is, in order for me to recommend someone, I got to go to their channel and check them out and see if they upload frequently, because if you're not serious about YouTube, it's hard for me to recommend. If you only make one video every 6 months or something like that, it's kind of hard for me to recommend people out. So I will definitely check out your channel and keep on coming back, and maybe one of these days I'll give you a shout out, buddy. Don't mean to be rude when I say that. That's just kind of how I am. I'm really picky. I'm not like, I don't try to offend people, but what I use YouTube for is like actual TV. I hardly watch cable TV at all. I wake up in the morning and I turn ESPN on for a little bit to catch up on some sports. But then in the evenings, I'm either making YouTube videos or watching YouTube videos, and I'm subscribed to people that upload content all the time. Tampa Tom says, do you have any Val? I've got some Val, but I don't know which type of Val it is. It's pretty good. I like it. It's not real green, but it's kind of striped a little bit too. Boom, boom, boom. All right, Friday Fish Facts is here. What is up, Friday? Nice to see you, buddy. I had to pay. Oh, okay. Tampa Tom says, I love Val too. Was thinking Jeffro could grow it to sell. Yeah, Val would go crazy. I thought about this summer taking my little swimming pool outside and dumping a bag of pool filter sand in it and starting a great big carpet of Val, you know. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we're at the bottom. Anybody have any questions? I have corkscrew Val and regular Val. Love them both. Yeah, I don't have the corkscrew. I definitely would like to get some though, because I like it. I want an aerial view of Jeff's room. LOL. Yeah. No kidding, right? I could maybe try to do something like that. I was thinking the other day, I was looking back on some of my videos, and actually, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I have gotten a lot better, especially on my personal, you know, like my intros and outros. My lighting is better. You know, the sound is better. I think for a long time, you know, and there's other YouTubers, I won't say their names or anything, but I've noticed on other YouTubers, the sound isn't really the best in the world, and the lighting is maybe way too bright. And I just work and work and work at getting better at it. And I look back on some of mine, and man, it was cringy. You know, it was like, golly, the camera was in a different spot every time, which now I'm going to have to struggle. I may have to put some tape down where my tripod sticks go, because how I did it before is I would open my door and I would put the tripod legs all the way up against my bed and then to the door, and that's how I got it to be exact every time. And then I had to frame in to where the top of my TV here was barely showing at the top of the screen, and then I would get in my chair and I would roll it up and I would get framed in exact, and that's how I did it every time. But now I'm having to do it from like right here, so I'm gonna have to work at getting that. I don't even remember what got me. Back to what? Gosh, who was it? Was it Charlie saying that he wanted to see an overview of my room? But I used to do all kinds of different views. I tried to do, like, if I was doing an unboxing, I wanted to have a camera down in the tank. I wanted to have a camera maybe in the pitcher that I was pouring them in, you know. I always would do different types of views. So maybe I'll work on some above the tank views maybe or something. Yeah, a drone shot of the room would be good. I've got drones, and I've got drones that work, but they would be kind of crappy right now because the robotic arm, the stabilization arm is broken on one. So I would have to put the rigid camera holder on there, and it would be like jerky and jumpy. It wouldn't be like smooth, you know. So I've got two drones, and both of them are down because of that. One of them's down because I wrecked it really bad. It's kind of a good video. I don't know if I've still got it to where everybody can see it, but the other one, whenever I was hooking in the robotic arm, the stabilization rig, I messed up one of the one of the cables that hooks into the breadboard, and it was so small that I couldn't get it to solder back in. It was a real tiny micro plug-in. Our Aquatic says, how many tanks do you have now, Jeffro? Well, I had 30 before I added these 6, so that means that I've got 36 now. And I don't know how many gallons. A long time ago I had down how many gallons of water I've got, but I know my water bill was over $100 last month. That's the highest it's ever been in 1 month. Candy bragger. No, the only way, a lot of YouTubers don't watch their videos. Sometimes I watch my live streams back. One thing that makes me angry is on my camera settings for this live stream camera. I've got the settings where the white balance is really good, but whenever I watch it on playback, OBS doesn't play it that way. And I've got to get something figured out on my camera settings, because it looks like my cheeks are really, really shiny and washed out. And to me right now, the view that I'm watching on my OBS, it looks great, but whenever I watch it back on YouTube, it doesn't. So I'll have to work on that. But yeah, like I was saying, is a lot of YouTubers don't ever watch their videos, and I watch mine numerous times. After I always schedule my videos ahead of time, and once they're on YouTube scheduled, no one can watch them but me until the date that they upload. But I go ahead and watch them because I want to make sure that my sound and my cuts and all of my clips are together right, because there has been some instances, like my vivarium video that I made, where I made the whole vivarium. There was like 10 different areas in that video where I wanted the sound to be louder, and it was like almost silent. So I had to delete that video off of YouTube, go back in, and I still had my editing software, and I had the whole video still in there, and I went back in and re-edited those clips, and then I re-rendered it again, and then I uploaded it to YouTube. So I try to watch my videos. Well, the other night I was going back and watching some of my old ones just to kind of see where things are at, and I've gotten better. I really have. I'm by no means no Casey Neistat or Jimmy from Aquarium Co-op by a long shot, and that's basically because, you know, I don't work as hard as I mean, like Jimmy has the thought of, if he doesn't like it, he will not put it to YouTube. You know what I mean? And that's the way Casey is too. They wouldn't put out my crap that I put out on YouTube. I've got a little bit easier of a edit. You know, I'm like, you know, it's not the best in the world, but at the same time, I am getting better. They wouldn't put my crap on their channel. Real thing for you, Fish Tank says beams work or Aquaneat for a red light. I've never had the beams work light. I've got some Aquaneats, but I don't have any that have the red light along with them. I've got the ones that have the blue and white. So I don't know what to tell you there, buddy. Red Dirt Cichlids is in the house. What is up, buddy? Honeybee says, I'm still using an iPhone. Jeffro has all the gear and the ideas. I wish that I could get a lapel mic to hook into my iPhone. I've ordered like 3 different times, and I never can get the right one. I've even ordered adapters. My iPhone has a little bit smaller, or it's a little bit bigger than the 3.5 millimeter, but I've ordered the exact thing that I need, and it just came in not working. So Guppy Puppies is in the house. What is up? What size tanks do you have? Let's see here. I've got some 55s. I've got a whole bunch of 10s. I've got some 30s. I've got some 20s. I've got some 20 longs. I've got some 40-gallon breeders. I've got a 50-gallon frag tank. I've got a 140-gallon and a 90-gallon. And I think that pretty much does it for different sizes of tanks. I'm pretty sure. Time for a makeup person, Jeff. I wish that I could I need to just sit down and work and focus on my settings, because I'm not happy with it, you know. Like when I watch it back on playback, like Mike from Mile High Plecos the other night, he was thinking that my cheeks were shiny, and it's not that. It's right in here where the light is hitting me really good, is washed out because my white balance is off. And it might be, you know, like this light right here too, or it might be that, you know, I need to turn my lights a little bit different or something. I don't know. I just about knocked over that light stand. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Honeybee says, I uploaded a video and didn't release the mirror image in glass tank. Showed me in my underwear. I delete it now, so look at everything now. Yeah, definitely. I got a buddy who posted a video releasing some plecos on Instagram the other day, and he's got a jewelry piece on his chest, if you will, and it was showing in the reflection on the tank, and it was really, really, really funny. He didn't even realize it. His wife noticed it. Wow, I just seen Nightbot was hidden by Candy. So Nightbot is here, huh, Candy? Fish Out of Water Aquariums is here. What is up, everyone? What is up, Fish Out of Aquarium? I sent you a message on Instagram earlier. I believe I did. Red Dirt Cichlid says, how do you highlight someone's name when you say their name? It turns red. So how you do it is, if you're on a computer, if you hit the @ sign and then start typing their name. So like if you want me to see a question, hit @ and then start typing Jeffro, and it will pop up all the Jeffros that are in the chat, and you pick me, and whenever you pick me, then ask your question, and then it will highlight it to me, and I'll see it in orange. And you can do that for everybody's name, but on the cell phone it doesn't work. I've never been able to get it to work anyhow. If there's someone in here, Candy is telling him how to do it in the chat. And she probably already told him way before I said it. Excuse me. Sounds good, Fish Out of Water. Yeah, Jeremy is LMFAOing because he knows who I'm talking about. It was really funny. All right, so we're at the bottom of the chat. We're about halfway through. I've got an iPhone, so I don't know if it works on an Android or not. Anybody have any questions? It could be, how tall am I? How much do I weigh? I don't know how much I weigh, by the way, but it could be, what year was I born in? I don't like to talk about politics on my channel or anything like that, because that gets really heated and stuff. But yeah, think of some questions to ask me, guys. We've got 30 people here, so we've got some lurkers. Even you lurkers, don't be worried. Ask some questions. Yeah. It really smells in here. Those of you that wasn't in the chat earlier, I had a tank. Well, I had a hang on the back spacer come off, so it tipped backwards and it started leaking out about 4 inches of this 40-gallon breeder over here, and tank water stunk up my carpet really bad. I've got it dry now, but it just stinks. Jad Orsi says, Jeffro, what is your middle name and your first ever pet? Ooh, my first ever pet was a puppy. Got bit by a skunk that had rabies, and they had to take it to the vet and have it put to sleep. Yep, his name was Snoopy. That was my first ever pet, and my middle name is Wayne. Pam from 54 Punchy is here. What is up, Pam? Sergeant Tank Pet says, favorite red and white meat. My favorite red meat would be like a ribeye steak. And then my favorite white meat would be like catfish. I love catfish. And I almost made some tonight. I bought some chicken strips. And I bought some catfish. And I breaded all the chicken fillets and started deep frying them. And the package had like double of what I thought that had in there. So it was really a good buy. And basically what I was going to do is, my oldest son doesn't like fish. So I was going to do some chicken strips and then some fish. But by the time I got to the very end, it was like, wow. So I put the fish in the refrigerator, and I'll fry me up some catfish nuggets this weekend. Tampa Tom says, can I send you a red Reuben sword? Definitely. Definitely. And also, Tampa Tom, you had reached out to me a while back either about plecos or about shrimp. And I can't remember if you have an Instagram or not. But if you don't, go to my About section and click on my email and send me an email if you're interested in anything like that. And maybe we can do something. Candy Overall says, how tall are you? I am 5'10". Adrian Castillo says, ever think of getting a massive tank, 125 plus? Well, I had a 125 for years. probably 10 years. And I kept a pacu, some type of catfish, and I can't remember. I wish that I could remember what kind of catfish it was. I had a catfish, I had a pacu, and then I had a common pleco that got really huge in there. And my pacu got up to 24 inches long, and he was like 18 inches tall, and he was really, really thick, like 6 inches thick right through here, you know. I would throw down raw carrots, you know, full raw carrots. I would peel them and just throw them down in the tank, and he would just saw through those like they were nothing. I loved the 125. I don't like canisters, but nowadays you can do sumps. I didn't know about sumps back then. I had 2 big canister filters on them, and that's why I don't do canister filters hardly at all, because I didn't really like them. I was always having problems. I was having leaking problems. I was having air suction problems. I mean, and I hear that all the time. About the only person that I've never heard complaints about their canister filters is John Bedker, that's on here every once in a while in the chat. I went and did a fish room tour on his channel, or on his fish room. So you'd have to go back and watch that video. It's like I visited an awesome fish room in eastern Iowa or something like that. It's got over 1,000 views on it, but I think his are Marineland, but I don't want to say that for sure. But his canister filters, he swears by them. He's had them for 3 years with no issues at all. So, but yeah, I almost pulled the trigger last month on a 380-gallon frag tank that came with a steel stand. It's like 9 foot long, like 20 inches tall, by like 6 foot deep. It was amazing. I would have had to rearrange my whole living room. I would have had to start putting stuff in my living room. I'll be single forever if I get that thing, and it's still on Craigslist. The guy wants a lot for it, and it's worth what he wants for it, but he's probably never going to be able to sell it for that. It takes a special person, pleco guy, or like some kind of reefer guy or something, you know. But it has it has overflows. It's ready to go for like a sump, you know. So I could put like a 55-gallon tank below it and use that as a sump, and it would be an amazing pleco tank. I could get some big daddies in there. Just in case, Pam, I don't know if I said anything when you came here, but welcome to the live stream. Does the size of the beard matter? The size of the beard does matter. Girls like the beard. They really do. The ladies like the beard. Jeremy H., my first pet was a skunk. Had 4 of them when I was growing up. My first pet was a puppy that got bit by a skunk that had rabies, and your first pet was a skunk. Pretty cool. Guppy Puppy says, when did you start breeding? I had been in the fish hobby for quite a long time. When I was growing up, my parents didn't ever let me have any aquariums. And, you know, every once in a while we would have the goldfish bowl with some goldfish, but that's as much as it ever got. But I moved out when I was 17, and when I got my first apartment, I got like 2 or 3 fish tanks. I got tiger barbs, I got mollies, different things like that. So when you got mollies, you got live bearers, you know, you breed. So I would say I bred my first live bearer when I was like 17, but I didn't get serious into it or anything like that. But then my next apartment, I got a great big 125, and that was the only tank that I kept in the house for quite a few years. And then we moved to Iowa, and then we would just have one-off tanks, like 20 gallons here, a 20 gallon there, a 10 gallon here. And then I took probably 5 or 6 years off from the hobby. I was taking the stance of, you know, when fish die, kids get upset, yada, 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 you know. But I would say within the last 2 years is whenever I've started getting back into the hobby. And this time I just got MTS, you know. I never had this before. And I don't know what it really was, other than I'm better at it than what I was back then. I know the formula on how to make it healthier for fish. Yeah, so all right, let's see, when did you start breeding? So I would say year and a half, somewhere around in there. But I didn't get my first pleco to breed until about probably the last 4 months is whenever I finally got to where I'm getting plecos to breed. Chef Hannibal, Jeffroz, pick one, rack of 440s breeders or 6 20 longs. Ooh, I would probably, boy, that is a tough one. Oh my gosh, that is a tough one. A rack of 440 breeders or 6 20 longs. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say 6 20 longs. I love the 40-gallon breeders, but in 6 20 longs, I could do a bunch with plecos in 6 20 longs. In 4 40-gallon breeders, I could do some, but I'm getting into the thinking now of trying to do a smaller breeding program with plecos. So like 10 gallons and 20 gallons and, you know, just a reverse trio and don't have any more in there, you know, things like that. That's what I'm getting into now. Like this tank back here has a bunch of the brown common bristlenose plecos in it, and I'm gonna leave that one full with a bunch of them in it because they're my pleco versus food stars. So it looks better whenever I do a video and there's 30 of them on there, you know. Turbofish is in the house. What is up, AJ? Nice to see you, buddy. Sergeant Tank smells like armpit sweat. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Thank you. You can thank me later for the free advertising, Smelly. Everyday Fish Keeper is here. What is up, man? Nice to see you. Yuve is here. Yuve Peterson. I'm going to call you Yuve for short because I butcher your name every single time. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I did add another live stream during the week, and that's Monday night. We had it the other night. It was pretty good. We had over 30 people there throughout the whole live stream. So we'll probably go ahead and keep on doing that one for a while. That one's not promised. I'm pretty much dedicated to this Wednesday and the Saturday one until further notice. The Monday one is just there. But I can't see why I would stop it. Probably do it through the rest of the year for sure is what I'm thinking. All right, Turbofish asks, you ever, whoopsie, there it went. Where did it go to? You ever wonder what you could type in here and Jeffro would just blabble it off? They've said some things before that I shouldn't have read, and I did. And then I see Candy say, oh no, he's gonna read it. Oh no, he read it. Dank Tanks is in the house. What is up, buddy? Nice to see ya. Red Dirt Cichlid says, I've never had a problem with canister filters. 4 FX6, 4 Suns, 100% happy, running for years. Yeah, I'm not dissing them at all. People diss hang on the backs, and I've got hang on the backs on just about every tank. Your smaller ones, I just run a sponge filter in, but on my ones that are 40 and above, I've got hang on the backs on them. And up until last night when I had that one, and that one was my fault. The night before I'd done filter maintenance, and whenever I did filter maintenance on that hang on the back, the spacer fell off and I didn't realize it. Well, actually, I did realize it, but I got sidetracked. I realized that the water was right up to the edge and I did nothing about it. I got sidetracked in the fish room, and that's one problem with having 36 tanks when you're doing your maintenance. Sometimes you can kind of get in a hurry. and I should have stopped and realized the reason why that water is up to that level is because my spacer that keeps it straight is off, so it's tipping back and it's allowing water out, and it drained probably 3 gallons of water out last night. Reefer guys, question mark. Welcome, Dank. Let's see here. Greetings from Lurkerland. Hey, Bentley, what's up, man? I don't know why I thought that was funny, Bentley, but I did. Lurkerland. Red Dirt Cichlid says, I used to run the old Magnum 350 canister filter. Never leaked. Had it for 20 years. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. Yeah, there's people also that have these same ones where, you know, and like today, Rachel O'Leary's video, she was kind of complaining a little bit about her FX6, how she's had nothing but problems. But really, when they dug into it, it was the tubing that was on there had like deteriorated around one of the outlets. So that's where the leak was coming from. Her video today was about one of her biggest tank was leaking, but it was the tubing. I take my tubing and I dip it down into a boiling cup of water and then pull it out and then push it over, and then it hardens when it cools. And they use a heat gun, and then he was putting Vaseline or something on it. I don't know that I would do that. I guess Vaseline probably wouldn't deteriorate, but it looks like she said in the video that it was probably from the heat gun, got too close to it and they just didn't notice it. But basically there was some looked like deterioration of the tubing, and that's how it leaked. So she didn't really have a problem with her FX6. Punchy said she's trying to remember when she started breeding. My oldest is 40, so about 40 years ago. Oh no. So Priscilla must be here. I just got a text from Priscilla that says read faster, but I don't see her in the chat anywhere. There she is. Priscilla MK Art is here. If I leave, he won't even notice I was here. True. Valley Fish is here. Angelo's Fish Tanks is here. What is up, guys? Pebs13 is here. Long time no see, Pebs. Nice to see ya. Corey Boy Aquatics is here. What is up, Corey Boy? I missed your Monday one because of a test. No problem, man. No problem, Adrian. Let's see. Enjoying the channel. Notifications on. Cool. Let's see if I missed any more. Corey Boy says, okay, got good. If fish grow fast and die quicker, does that make it when humans live in the desert die fast? Just a question. I was just thinking out loud. LOL. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those type of deals where if you keep your heaters turned up really high too, you know, they won't live as long. It's what I've heard anyhow. I've started backing off. I've started going on the lower side of temps. Now there's some species of fish where they might not breed at a certain temp below, but most of the stuff that I've got, you know, 68, 72 degrees is fine. Oh boy, she's getting me back. Priscilla's getting me back. She went live the other day, and it was the first time she'd went live in a long time, and I sent her some messages while she was going live, and I got her pretty good. It was a silent couple of minutes for sure. Oh, so she owes me. Let's see here. He'll read this at 8:48 p.m. Eastern. So Jeremy, since you're still here, are you going live next? I got 41 people here, by the way, guys. I couldn't tell earlier because it said 1900 hours, and I don't know Army time. I kind of chuckled when I saw it because it's like Sergeant Tank. He's going live at 1900 hours. Okay, Martin Ramirez is here. What's your favorite brand of Hang on the Back? Aqua Clear is the ones that I like the most. I do have some of those cheaper ones that are made by tetra, so they're something about silent. I can't remember what they're called. They're called something silent. I can't remember, but they're loud. I don't like them as much. I like that they've got two big chambers, so I can put a lot of ceramic biomedia, and I can put some polyfill and some sponges in them and all that kind of stuff. So I like that they've got two big containers, but the Aqua Clear is what I've bought the last probably 6 or 7 times. They're pretty cheap. They're not too bad. And I like that they're clear so you can see everything in there. I've had better luck with the turbine and all that kind of stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Oddball Aquatics is here. I hate that whenever I try to scroll down to see what they're saying and then it just goes. Hey y'all, stopping by to drop the like. Have a great stream, Jeffro. Later, Fish Fam. Thanks for stopping in and for the like, Oddball Aquatics. Nice to see you, girl. Prolific Breed is in the house. What is up, man? Nice to see ya. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Jeffroz, what up? What up, Dank? What up, Dank? Carbon really is in the house. What is up, Carbon? Nice to see ya. Oh, by the way, since we've got 43 people here, we're going to be live for another 10-15 minutes here. I am running a poll on the live stream tonight. So if you guys haven't ever voted on my poll before, if you're on a mobile device, if you touch right on my nose, icon will show up at the top right. So over here. Click on that, and there's a question on there. Let me see, what question did I put? Basically about what do you guys want? What do you want more of in my videos? Do you guys want more fish room tour videos, top 5 videos, Pleco versus food videos, or more fish room updates? If you guys could vote on that, that would be great. Helps me figure out what videos I need to make next. Let's see here. Ba-boom, boom, boom. Did Jeremy answer when he was going live? I need to look for that. Boom, 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 boom. 40, I'm leaving. Thanks, Priscilla. 44 and a half. Woohoo, just subtract 12 from 19. Going live at 10. So Jeremy will be going live. So that to me means that Dan, I haven't seen Dan scheduled, but Dan should be going live right after me, and then after that Jeremy will go live. So we're set for the night, guys. I like those nights. Charlie says that's the middle of the night. Man up, Charlie, man up. Speaking of that, I think that's why Bald and Dangerous hasn't been here lately. I think, this is what I think, I don't know for a fact. I think it's like 2 a.m. right now there-ish, somewhere around in there. I think it was probably causing him some health issues staying up that late. And he's watching the replays, but I haven't heard from him in over a week, so I'm hoping that he's doing okay. But I do definitely miss it. He's a great subscriber. But I don't know that for a fact. It might have not been causing him. But I know that even me at 42, it would be really hard for me to be dedicated enough to stay up till 2 a.m. to watch a live stream during the week. I would probably vote to watch the replay the next morning when I got up. Adrian says you should get some realies. Well, the next shrimp that I get are some crystal shrimp, and I'm setting up a tank for them right now. I'm waiting on one thing, and I'm running into an issue with it. I ordered some bull filter sand, and I got an email from Amazon the other day that said that they hadn't received word from the seller, so no tracking information. Said you can contact the seller direct, and I sent him an email yesterday and I haven't heard from him. and they're, you know, they've got 200 and some thousand positive results on Amazon and very, very few negatives. So I don't know what's up. I don't really know what's up. Krusty Bojangles is in the house. What is up, Krusty? Nice to see ya. Boom, boom, boom. Priscilla asks, who's all going to AE? Valley Fish says, wow, 100% fish room vids. Well, I've got 2 of those that I could do anytime that I want. So I got 2 of those that I could go do at any time. I just need to get off my butt and do them. One of them I need to do before it gets winter time, to where I don't have a long trek in the bad weather. But I can do 2 of those at any time. Then if you guys were at Livestream Saturday night, we got a new subscriber that my LFS turned on to me. And he lives over in Pella, and I think he has a fish room. So the next time I see him in the chat, I'm going to hit him up and try to make friends with him, because he only lives about 18 miles away from me, and I need to make friends with those type of people. So he supplies angelfish to my LFS, and I never knew that. So Allison Chains is in the house. Hello, Jeffro. I caught your live stream. Yay. Welcome to the live stream, Allison. Always good to have you here. Martin Ramirez says voted. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate that. Pebs13 says, I have got a ton of baby Ricardi and soon to have baby ghost crayfish. Awesome. Congrats. Charlie said he has a bug, not feeling great. Alrighty. Jad Orsi says Dougie is alright, just following doctor's orders to keep a regular schedule. He is 6 hours ahead of us. I know. I know. He's got dedication, I'll tell you that. Honeybee says 1:45 here in UK. I'm dying. Yeah, Honeybee's all cuddled up in bed, I guarantee you. Boom, 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 boom. Charlie, a new one or the same one? Let's see here. Corey Boy Aquatic says, Jeffro, how do I get to breed my bristlenose? They stop breeding tanks about 80 degrees. There are plenty of male and females in there. I've been thinking about just putting male and female in one tank by itself. Well, I don't have my pleco tanks that high on the temperature. If they're bristlenose, Jeremy from Sergeant Tank said that he's even got them to breed as low as 68, and they can tolerate that temperature. They're one of the only plecos that can kind of go that cool. But I've got my tank. Let me check it real quick so I don't lie. I want to say 72 is what I got mine at. $72.6 is what I've got mine at. A lot of times it depends on a number of different things. Sometimes you get them and they're young and you just have to wait the course for them to get mature. Their diet, if you don't have enough crushed coral in there to buffer the water, sometimes it's giving them, like I was trying all kinds of things. Sometimes you got to just let everything go, but sometimes you can turn pleco caves a different way to where you're trying to mimic the flow of the water, hitting it a different way. So have this pleco cave this way, but have another one over this way and have another one. So I went through all that routine. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that you can do to try to spark them into it. There's another thing that I think the first time I got my Super Reds to go, the one thing that I tried that happened like within 24 hours was I had a tank of bristlenose plecos in the house that was already breeding, and Jeremy from Sergeant Tank Pets explained to me that you can take that water, take a cupful of that water out and pour in there, and there's pheromones in that water that could spark them to go, and that got mine to go, actually. So it depends on if you've got another tank of bristlenose that are breeding already. But the biggest reason why I'm wanting to go smaller is, for one, if you kind of keep them down into a confined space, it makes them have to be around each other more often. Like, I've got my super reds in a 55 gallon, and it's a breeding for profit tank, and they can be on the other side of the tank all the time, and then all of a sudden when they feed, they're together. And that's lots of times when the breeding activity starts to happen. It's like, I feed them close to the pleco cave, so that male, he'll push that female right into the pleco cave and then trap her in there, and then it goes. But there's all kinds of things that you can try. Lots of times you got to let nature take its course. D from Down the Wormhole is here. What is up, D? So, Krusty Bojingles says, so my pleco eggs hatched, and I haven't pulled them yet, but they're still in the cave. But here's my predicament. I'm moving into my new house in about a month. Should I grab the cave and stick it in a breeder box? No, I would go ahead and scrape them out, because a month from now, those plecos will be big enough that you can release them into a tank. I've heard different people, say right whenever they become wigglers and they're detached from the main sack, they release them into the tank that they're going into. I try to always wait until their sack is gone. I don't know if that's wrong or right. I want them completely free of that before I put them into the tank that they're going into. But yeah, I don't think there's any need to leave them in the cave and put them in the breeder box. Priscilla MK Art says, does the water from the low boy trickle on you while you sleep? Does it make you take more bathroom breaks? Haven't noticed that at all. I haven't had to take bathroom breaks in a long time. Like in my 30s, I had to get up every night and pee. But now that I'm in my 40s, I don't have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because all this water in here. I don't know. But no, it doesn't splash on me. I've got the sponge filters in there, hooked into this oh my gosh, I went blank. I've got it hooked into this, golly, I always forget that word. But anyhow, I've got them hooked into this, and I've got valves to where I can turn them down real low, and I've got them set to where they don't splash out, So, manifold. I always know that it's an M word, but I always forget that word. I don't know why. I hadn't as of late, but Krusty, you could always scrape them out and leave them in the breeder box. I just had some in a breeder box for a whole month, and it was like close to 200 of them, which was kind of risky. I did end up losing like 10 altogether. There was a couple behind a sponge filter, or a few that were dead, and then after I moved them into this tank, there was a few that died, but they've been in there over a week and everything's all good now. But I had them in a breeder box, free swimming for a month. I should have got some video of that, because it was pretty cool. When you fed them, they just devoured the food. They could eat a lot. They could eat a 14 millimeter pellet just in like 20 minutes. It was like, nyeh. I should have done a Pleco versus food on them. All right, we are at the hour. Jason from Fish Tropic is here. I want to say hello to him. That question has been on my mind many times in recent weeks. How often does Jeffro have to get up in the night? Thanks, Pam. We are at the 1 hour mark. We've still got 41 people here. We do have Dan's Fish going on next. So everybody go over and see him. And then I know who the special guest is tonight for Sergeant Tank Pets, but I'm not going to spoil it. But you don't want to miss it. Sergeant Tank Pets at 9 p.m. Eastern. No, 10 p.m. Eastern, sorry. So after Dan's Fish, Jeremy's going live, and he has a really awesome guest tonight. You don't want to miss that. Other than that, don't forget to check out tomorrow's video. I didn't have time to look that up, so you'll just have to be surprised tomorrow morning when I upload a video. And then we'll see you again here Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate everybody that comes and likes and shares. And yeah, you guys make it worthwhile for me. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of the week. And peace out, y'all. Peace.